Good morning, middle school. Let me get this in the right spot. Okay. Whoops, I did not delete all that. Okay. We are not meeting in person today because I tested positive for COVID, which sucks. But obviously my energy is pretty normal. I've been, runny nose, a little sore throat, but otherwise I'm pretty fine. So really grateful that I got the booster shot and I'm vaccinated, and science is cool and does great things. So far I'm doing fine. Jermaine doesn't have any symptoms yet, so hopefully he's good. That should mean that we'll be able to be back together on Sunday. I maybe not. I'm trying to figure out how many days I need to isolate and all that. So I will let you guys know once I know what the plan for next Sunday will be. But for now, we're going to dive into week 2 of Connect the Dots. This is our series that is about growing our own faith and really just making our faith our own. So I'm excited that we're starting the year with this. I think it's a great thing to think about at the start of the year. Just as so many things are new and we're kind of refreshing and restarting things. Really great to think about it with our faith as well. We're talking in this series about how we can connect the dots when it comes to our faith so that we can develop a deeper and stronger relationship with God, because God wants your faith to grow. So let's figure out how we can connect those dots together. First question to think about is, when was the last time you made a new friend? Maybe it was starting school this year, becoming part of a team. Maybe it was here at church. You met someone and you became a new friend. And I get very excited whenever I make new friends. I'm an extrovert. I love people, getting to know people. If we've got similar interests, we can share those. That's really great. So new friends are just a really awesome way of influencing a lot of things about our lives, aren't they, right? Lately, I am really to like anything baby related, nursery decoration and what to buy and all that. And Michelle doesn't count as a new friend, but we meet up every Monday and grab coffee and we talk about something in the Bible, but then also just this whole preparing to be moms thing. So friends can be just such a good influence on your life, right? So think about something that you really love to do. Maybe it's a sport or something, and that you do that because of a friend. So something a friend influenced you to do. So think kind of about that. Alrighty. So one of the things I want to talk about is kind of good or negative influences. And I don't have a good example of someone who influenced my faith positively as a friend until college. But I do kind of have an example of like negative influences in middle school. So I'll start with that. When I was in middle school, something that you guys might have noticed is that people start to change, those friendships start to change. And I had a friend who we had been friends since first grade. And we, had sleepovers and we were always doing stuff together. And then in middle school, our classes changed a bit, so many new students kind of shifted around. And we stopped hanging out quite as much. And by the time we got to high school, she had, we were still friendly if we saw each other, but she had started making some choices that were not so great, getting involved in, different drugs and things that I just was not a part of. So, that friendship had really, really changed. At the same time, in middle school and then going into high school, I met 2 girls who had gone to a different elementary school. One was Jamie and one was Olivia. And we started to have classes together. Jamie and I played volleyball together. And the 3 of us just became really, really tight in high school. And they had such a positive impact on me. They had very, very similar values. Our faith wasn't a big part of it, but just, focusing on school and our goals for our future. And they were really positive influences on me. When I got to college, that's when I really started exploring my faith more. You guys are doing this earlier, which is so good. And I'm so grateful you guys are ahead of me in this. But when I went to college, I met a girl named Ashley, and she's actually my best friend. She's a doctor out in Wisconsin. We keep in touch all the time. She's amazing, but her faith has always just been so genuine and real and beautiful that when I was in college and I was kind of struggling to figure out what it meant to be a Christian, seeing her faith was so inspirational to me, and it really, really helps me. People can play a really important role in growing our faith. Whenever you hear about someone's journey toward growing their faith, we usually hear about relationships. Um, and it's, yes, the relationship with God, but it can be more than that. And if you want to think about your own faith, it might be true for you too. If you think of your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, teachers, friends at church, people who have talked about Jesus, um, those are people who have influenced your faith. Could even be on social media. You know, there are a lot of really great influencers on Instagram, different celebrities who talk about Jesus, and that can help you with your faith and have it, become your own. No matter what it looks like for you, chances are good that you're in this room because of at least one other person in your life. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a friend. Someone invited you, someone included you, inspired you, told you that you should go to church and get connected. God planned that, right? Super encouraging and exciting. He put those people into your life. He put you in your family. He gave you those friendships. He introduced you to those people so that you can grow your faith along other people. This is kind of a tricky thing if we're like, how do we grow our faith, right? If God wants our faith to grow and other people are supposed to play a part in it, how do we connect the dots between those two things? Do we sit around and wait for someone who loves Jesus to come into our lives? Do we need to go seek them out somewhere? Are we supposed to just hope and pray that we meet people? Is there something more we can do to connect those dots? So that's a really great thing to stop and think about when you're a middle schooler, because whether you realize it or not, you have a choice about who you let influence your life. And this is only going to become more of a thing as you go through middle school, into high school, and then eventually to college, because as you get more freedom and you get to make more decisions on your own, like a lot of what you choose, the people that you let in your life can influence where your life goes. So today we're going to look at some wisdom from a guy named Solomon. So you guys might have remembered hearing about him. He's a very wise guy. He is like this famous king. He was king. He was son of David, became king after David. And he's considered the wisest man who lived in all time ever. So he lived thousands of years ago, and he gave a lot of really good, solid advice. A lot of it's in the Bible, and that's what we're going to look at today. So one of the things that he wrote was in Proverbs 13:20, and he said, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." Pretty straightforward, right? We have a choice. We can be the kind of people who hang out with wise people, or we can be the kind of people who hang out with fools. And these words are really important here. A wise person isn't someone who is just super smart or knows a lot of random trivia, right? They're someone who makes good, healthy choices. And a fool is the opposite. They don't use good judgment. They make decisions that aren't so great. And we get to choose who we're going to spend time with and who we want to be. I want to be wise. I don't know about you guys. And I think that most of you probably do. But what do we do to become wise? As Solomon put it, we have to walk with the wise. We have to spend time with the people who are making good choices, the kind of people who are going to have influence and encourage us to do the same thing. And if we don't, then we risk letting our lives be influenced by fools. So the whole thing meant so much to Solomon that he put it another way in Proverbs. This is a very important idea. He said in Proverbs 27, "As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend." Back in Solomon's day, this would have made a lot more sense because they would have needed to sharpen a lot of like swords and knives and things. We don't do that too often. I have a set of very fancy kitchen knives that I love. I like to cook. And so if they get a little bit dull, the great thing about these knives, they're Cutco. It's a big deal. I can send them off and I can get them sharpened. And how they sharpen them is with iron. We use iron to sharpen iron. This is the same idea with our relationships. So in the same way, a wise person in your life is going to help you grow wise and help you become the person you were meant to be. The right people can encourage you and influence you and support you and challenge you to grow in your faith. If we connect the dots to help grow in a relationship with God, then we need help, the help of people around us to do it. We can't just do it on our own. People can help grow your faith. God created us to be in relationship with each other and with other people, to have family members and friends and teammates and coaches and small groups and, you know, student ministry leaders and everybody to help you develop that deep relationship with God. So when I look back in my friendships and things, I can see how I had really great friends in high school who helped me become a good person and make good choices. And then in college, I met some amazing people who helped me become stronger in my faith and the Christian that I am today. So people grow your faith, right? So God uses people to help us grow our faith. Who we spend time with really matters. So our goal is to surround ourselves with really wise people who make good choices. So how do we do this? What can we do? A couple steps we can take. We can identify the people that we're already spending time with, right? The friends you're hanging out with the most, are they making good choices? Or are they making some not so great choices? Are they encouraging you in your faith? Are they encouraging you to make good choices and study hard and work hard and be kind and all those things? Or are they encouraging you in not so positive ways? So if the people around you are encouraging you to be wise, that's awesome. Or are they influencing you to be foolish? And should we maybe take a look at that? We also then want to identify the people who you know will help you grow. Think about people at school or home, on your team, at church. Who are the people that are going to help you grow? Maybe it's just one person. I think for a lot of you, it could be many people. But identify at least one person that you might want to, or might be able to go to help you connect the dots as you grow in your faith. Leaders here at church were a great starting point. Your parents are a great starting point. You might have good coaches or leaders in other areas of your life. So identify those people who are going to help you grow. And then take a step toward a relationship. So whoever that person in your life is, take a step toward building a closer relationship with them. I know us leaders, we'd love to spend time with you. If you want to go grab coffee or something, just shoot one of us a text. We'd love to do that and just chat about life and how things are going. If it's a friend, eat lunch with them, start spending time with them. If it's an adult in your life, shoot them a text, talk to them. You can text with them, you can call them, spend time with them, because chances are all of us have had someone in our life who have done that for us and have spoken into us. And so we're excited to be able to do that for someone else. Important point before jumping kind of towards the end here. If you are identifying people in your life who are like maybe not so great influences and they're maybe making some choices that aren't great, that doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them, right? Of course, you want to be friends with people who think differently than you or act differently than you. You really should be friends with them. Jesus hung out with people all the time who were considered sinners or, not moral people. But being friends with them is different than letting them influence your life. Maybe you're not going to tell them every single thing. Maybe you're not going to spend all your time with them. You can be friends. You can hang out with them. But make sure that those strong, trusting relationships are with people who are going to encourage you to become better, because we really are a reflection of the people we spend the most time around. So, important disclaimer there. And the whole point today is that people can grow your faith. I'm almost out of time here. Got a minute and a half left. We all need a little encouragement to connect the dots and grow deeper in our relationship with God. So we need people who are going to offer that wisdom and that support. So those people, they're really just a text away. I know that us leaders, we'd love to be those people. So please text us. We'd love to connect. As you are going to look at the small group questions and the details below, feel free to journal these. Feel free to chat with a family member about them, like a parent, maybe even a sibling. But as you're kind of moving towards those questions, one thing to think about is who is one person who influences your life in a positive way. And maybe send a text to that person and ask to hang out sometime, or ask them if you can grab some coffee, or just tell them that you think they've influenced you in a positive way. That's a great thing too. So anyway, that's it for this week. Check out the questions and the details below. I will communicate with your parents through email, or if I do have you on text, I will send you a text. But I will communicate the plan for next Sunday. Sorry for last minute change of plans this Sunday, but stay healthy, and I will see you guys as soon as I can.